Hello there! I'm Teacher Glee. In this video, we will talk about heat transfer. Are you ready? Let's get started!
When you place a pot filled with water on a heated stove, which do you think will get hot first? The pot or the water? Right! The pot will get hot first. This happens because of the so-called heat transfer. Before we get into that, let's understand first the concept of thermal energy and heat. All forms of matter consist of atoms and molecules. These atoms and molecules possess kinetic energy or energy of motion. But the energy that causes the fast-moving and vibrating particles of the substance gained is called thermal energy. Thermal energy is the energy that the object or system absorbed due to temperature differences. When thermal energy is gained, heat is present. Thus, heat occurs in a form of thermal energy. Therefore, the energy that flows and causes the pot to become hotter and the water to boil is the heat. In other words, heat refers to the energy that the object or system absorbed, whereas heat transfer is the process of how heat energy flows between an object, body, or system. Heat transfer occurs in different ways, such as by conduction, convection, and radiation. Let's take a look at this one by one. Conduction takes place when heat energy is transferred through direct contact. This is most effective in solids because the particles in solids are closely packed together and are constantly vibrating. For example, when cooking, heat energy flows from the warmer region of the pan, where the particles started to vibrate faster until it reaches the cooler region of the entire pan to become hotter and enables the food to get cooked. That is also the reason why cooking pans are made of metals, because metals such as iron, copper, silver, or aluminum are good conductors of heat, whereas materials that conduct heat poorly are called insulators, which is why most cooking utensils have handles made of wood, plastic, or rubber to prevent heat from flowing to the handles, which protect our hands to get burned. Other examples are when grilling barbecues or frying an egg. Convection, on the other hand, takes place in fluids that are moving because of density differences within the material, such as liquid or gas. For instance, when boiling water in a pan, the heat is transferred from the pan to the water. When the water molecules are heated, it becomes less dense and rises, while the molecules of cool water above go down, to replace the molecules of hot water at the bottom. This creates the circular movement of molecules called a convection current. Other examples such as the rising of hot air balloons or the lava lamp. However, heat energy can also be transferred without the aid of fluid nor any solid materials. That is through radiation. Radiation is when heat travels through a vacuum or in an empty space in a form of electromagnetic waves. An example of this is the heat from the sun that reaches the earth. Any objects that are placed under the heat of the sun constantly absorb heat energy. The hotter the object is, the more radiation emits. That is also why it feels hot when we place our hands over a fire even without directly touching the source of heat. Other examples are when you dry your clothes outside or sunbathing. Now, let's have a recap. Heat can be transferred in three major ways. First, by conduction, where heat transfer takes place through direct contact and most effectively in solids. Secondly, is convection, where heat transfer occurs through fluids due to density differences. And lastly, radiation, where heat travels through empty space in a form of electromagnetic waves.
I hope you had fun learning about heat transfer. Remember, learning science is exciting.